Alright, few games from the 16-bit era have earned the legendary reputation enjoyed by Contra Hardcore. Released in 1994 for the Sega Genesis, the game pushed the hardware to its limits with explosive action, memorable boss fights, multiple playable characters, and branching story paths. More than 3 decades later, many fans still consider it one of the greatest entries in the Contra franchise. Because of this enduring popularity, the idea of a modern remake built using a powerful engine such as Unreal Engine has become a dream project for longtime players. A Contra hardcore remake developed with modern technology could potentially revive one of gaming's most beloved run-and-gun experiences while introducing it to an entirely new generation of players. The anticipation surrounding such a project would be enormous, not only because of nostalgia, but also because of the possibilities that today's game engines can offer. One of the biggest reasons fans would be excited is the visual transformation Unreal Engine could provide. The original Hardcore was famous for its fast-paced action and gigantic boss encounters. With Unreal Engine's advanced lighting systems, detailed environments, and cinematic capabilities, these moments could be recreated on a much larger scale. Imagine the first stage's speeding hoverbike case rendered with modern visual effects, dynamic explosions, and highly detailed backgrounds. Iconic bosses, such as the transforming mechs and monstrous alien creatures, could be redesigned with incredible detail, while maintaining the spirit of the original designs. However, graphics alone would not be enough to satisfy the fanbase. Longtime Contra players would expect the remake to preserve the core gameplay that made Hardcore special. The original game demanded quick reflexes, pattern recognition, and precise movement. Fans would want the remake to retain this challenging nature while also providing accessibility options for newcomers. Difficulty settings inspired by both the Japanese and Western releases would likely be welcomed, as many players appreciated the Japanese version's health bar system. Discussions within the Contra community often highlight how the Japanese version offered a more balanced challenge compared to the unforgiving Western release. Another major expectation would involve the playable characters. Hardcore stood out by allowing players to choose between 4 distinct heroes, each possessing unique weapons and abilities. Raymond Poward, Sheena Atranzi, Brad Fang, and Brownie all contributed to the game's identity. Fans would strongly oppose any remake that removed this diversity. Instead, they would hope for expanded movesets, additional character interactions, and deeper storytelling without sacrificing the arcade-style pacing. Branching storyline would also be a critical component. Unlike many action games of its time, Contra Hardcore featured multiple routes and endings based on player choices. This feature significantly increased replay value and encouraged experimentation. A modern remake could expand these paths with new cutscenes, voice acting, and optional missions while preserving the original structure. Such enhancements would deepen player engagement and provide reasons to revisit the game multiple times. Multiplayer functionality would represent another important expectation. Contra has always been associated with cooperative gameplay. Modern online co-op support would be considered essential, allowing friends across the world to battle through alien invasions together. Cross-platform play could further strengthen the community and increase the game's longevity. The soundtrack would be another area where expectations would be extremely high. The Genesis original featured energetic compositions that perfectly complemented the intense action. Fans would likely desire remastered versions of the classic tracks, perhaps accompanied by the option to switch to the original soundtrack. Music has a powerful nostalgic impact, and preserving those iconic melodies would help maintain the soul of the experience. The anticipation surrounding a Contra Hardcore remake would also stem from the current gaming industry's renewed interest in revisiting classic franchises. Successful remakes have demonstrated that beloved older games can thrive with modern production values when developers respect the source material. At the same time, players have become increasingly vocal about preserving what made these classics memorable in the first place. Interestingly, fan enthusiasm for Unreal Engine remakes has become a widespread phenomenon across gaming communities. Numerous fan projects have attempted to reimagine older titles using Unreal Engine 5, showcasing what beloved classics might look like with modern technology. Reports covering fan-made remakes of games such as Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid, and Bully illustrate how strongly audiences respond to the idea of seeing cherished experiences reborn visually. This broader trend suggests that a Contra hardcore remake would likely attract significant attention. Yet fans would also have concerns. Unreal Engine projects occasionally receive criticism regarding optimization and performance. Some players worry that visual spectacle could come at the expense of responsiveness. Since Contra gameplay relies heavily on split-second reactions, maintaining smooth performance would be non-negotiable. Fans would rather have stable gameplay at high frame rates than overly ambitious graphical features that compromise control precision. Beyond technical considerations, the greatest challenge would involve balancing modernization with authenticity. Players would welcome quality of life improvements, refined controls, expanded content, and enhanced presentation. However, they would resist drastic redesigns that fundamentally alter the identity of hardcore. The remake would need to capture the rebellious energy, over-the-top action, and relentless pace that defined the original experience. Ultimately, a Contra hardcore remake built with Unreal Engine represents more than a visual upgrade. It symbolizes an opportunity to celebrate one of the finest run-and-gun games ever created. For veteran players, it would provide a chance to revisit a treasured childhood memory in spectacular fashion. For younger audiences unfamiliar with the franchise, it could serve as an introduction to the exhilarating gameplay that helped establish Contra as a gaming icon. The anticipation would therefore be genuine and substantial. Fans are not simply asking for nostalgia. They're hoping for a respectful revival that honors the past while embracing the possibilities of modern game development. If executed with care, passion, and an understanding of what made the original unforgettable, a Contra hardcore remake could become one of the most exciting action game releases of its generation. Until that day arrives, players can only imagine what it would feel like to once again charge into battle, dodge impossible waves of enemy fire, and confront screen-filling bosses in a beautifully realized version of one of the Sega Genesis era's greatest masterpieces.